get him out of the lane any way you can.
Boozer thought he was fouled, no whistle. Here's Williams in transition. And Darren Williams with his first basket in the month of April, averaging.
Noah just giving it everything he has out here for this team.
Williams knocks down a three. Through contact from Heinrich. Darren Williams.
That's the future two guard for the Chicago Bull team for a long time as Darren Williams gets into the lane and finishes.
That's 7 points now for Williams.
Injury, but I like San Antonio to take care of business.
There's Williams with a steal and the layup. And the lead for Brooklyn is 11 inside a minute to go in the first quarter.
I believe Boozer gets that tip in.
And he's got 10 points now. He's the leading scorer for Chicago so far, 5 of 9 from the field. That's too easy as Darren Williams drives and scores. That's a tough matchup for Robinson against Darren Williams, who has 11 points.
Game.
How about 2 assists on 15 baskets for the Nets? Yep, they have a 15-point lead as Williams goes to work on Bellinelli. No contest! Williams with a great drive and dish, and Lopez with the jam.
Now, terrific dribble penetration. Lopez, the help defense comes, leaving Lopez, no weak side help, easy opportunity, another point in the paint, and the Nets have it rolling here in the second quarter. 12-4 run by the Nets. Darren Williams with the shake and bake to the lane. Here comes Muhammad for the help. You got to help the helper. Nobody there for the Bulls. And an easy one for Lopez, who continues the offensive onslaught in the paint. Brooklyn on fire.
Boozer had to save it after a bad pass. Now Watson with a freebie. And it's a 22-point lead.
Heard Tom Thibodeau talking about multiple effort plays. That's exactly what Brooklyn's doing here. As Williams, another opportunity in the paint. No shot blocking for the Bulls on the floor. And the Nets doing a
comes up huge for the game-winning shot tonight.
Just quiet, goes about his business, professional, and what a big shot there. Boy, the Warriors got one. As Lopez continues to exploit the lack of size.
Bellinelli misses. Brooklyn leading by 21. Williams, great dish! And Wallace with the layup. Oh, what a pass by Darren Williams.
This is probably as fast as the Brooklyn Nets have played all season long. Early, I don't think Coach Thibodeau is going to be telling them anything. I think he's going to be yelling them anything. This half, I would not want to be in that locker room.
Here's Williams with 4. Williams hangs, banks it in. Heinrich from half court, and it's a 25-point lead for the Nets. Darren Williams with 15. Brook Lopez with 19.
Able to help this ball club. I mean, what do you do if you're Tom Thibodeau? Down 23. You know you could have a long series here. You take him out of the game as Lopez again in the paint. Great look, Darren Williams. Obviously, he's been a little more engaged. Speaking of Dwight Howard in the past couple games without Kobe Bryant.
How about Andre Black knocking down jumpers? The Bulls down 22.
He's been terrific. It's just got to happen on this other end. Maybe they found something offensively, but the defense still wide open shot after wide open look, and there's another one.
Joe Johnson for 3, his first 3-point basket. Youngest player at age 22, but doesn't appear as Williams just rips it away from Deng, and then Williams with the throwdown. His left is back, I'll say.
Yes, I'm feeling good again.
Lopez dominating Game 1 here in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. It's all Nets, 89-62 with 1 quarter to play. Inspire fans here in this borough who get opportunities to get to Madison Square Garden and watch the Knicks as Williams connects on a 3. Here's another guy that's inspired fans here. And boy, what a scene it was for tip-off JB.
To him was junked up the defense. Come on doubles sometimes, play a single coverage at other times, foul when he gets to the rim. So you just change up that defense on him. Let's see if he's gotten better and more accustomed to making the plays out of double teams, hitting his teammates.
Game 2 from Brooklyn, New York. There's Derrick Rose, and it's become a ritual.
He's teasing us.
Pre-game warm-up. The pre-game tease, that's exactly right. Another blackout in Brooklyn as D. Will and the Nets went for a 2-0 lead. There's Lopez, and there he is traveling. Here he is in the paint. This didn't happen very often in the first half.
Well, Brent hit around the head. When you're watching these clips, look at Chicago. They're all up in the Nets' private space, and that irritates you after a while. Even though it's a powerful dunk, it wasn't as impactful as we talked about earlier, like in Game 1.
Deron Williams, a miserable shooting night. He misses, but Nate Robinson takes it the other way, and Robinson will finish. Chicago up by 3. Stackhouse misses. Luol Deng.
You can't expect a shooter, Matt, ever to get back to cover the ball or a guy making the layup on that particular play. 2 guards have to pull back and get it done, and another chance for the Bulls. Rebound, guys out running, getting past the guard. Nobody really claiming ball by getting numbers on the ball to dictate where it's going to go, and Bellinelli with a nice finish.
We talked a little bit about how the Nets were able to get out and run in Game 2, and it was Chicago in the first half of this game. Lopez is a skilled guy, and the Bulls discovered this when he hit 4 straight 18, 20-foot jump shots.
Well, it's a nice shot, but like we talked about, you're not putting any pressure on the defense, not getting anyone in foul trouble. Great backdoor cut by Luol Deng.
That's the other thing that having Noah on the floor allows you to do. We know how good a passer he is. He's another guy that facilitates offense for the Bulls. So on both ends, had great impact tonight.
Just before the buzzer, it's C.J. Watson, the former Bull, knocks it down. He had 7 at the half. And you're feeling so great if you're a Chicago Bulls fan. You've done everything right, virtually a complete 180 from the first half of Game 1, and you're up a point.
Up a point, but you're feeling better about yourself because the focus and the way things are flowing.
Coach Rose talking to Carlos Boozer. Gerald Wallace with a steal here, saves it back, and it's Noah for the dunk.
I like that Joe No landed on the left foot a little bit heavier than the right foot there, protecting that injury on the right.
There's your guy, Nazi.
Nazmo. He played great. I mean, he really did. He just came in and did a solid job. But look at the Bulls' effort here, Matt. Hands on balls, everybody down, body on guys, first guys to possessions there, 4 guys out running. It's just an incredible amount of energy that they played with in this game. And off the bench.
Jimmy Butler with the dunk, his only bucket of the night. He had 5. Fourth quarter, here's Noah doing his thing.
Oh, you love the effort. Heinrich right on time, and you know Nate. He believes in himself, big-time money ball.
Robinson was 4 of 11. He had 11 points off the bench. Joe Johnson had been really quiet up until this point, and then knocks down a couple of threes, and suddenly it's a 4-point game. Johnson was 6 of 18 for 17 points.
And those shots are great, Matt, to try to come back, but that's not the way that you got to score in the playoffs. I mean, those are desperation possessions by the Nets, and Deng with a long jump shot there to help make sure that that lead is protected.
That was a big shot. He had 15. Noah puts it on the floor past Lopez and in, and that pretty much put it away. Chicago up by 8. Lopez drives. Noah has the answer.
Look at that energy. Look at that passion. Block shot. You put the ball on the floor. That's your 5-man making plays for you on both ends of the floor.
He had 2. Excuse me, 3. He had 2. The Bulls, as a team, blocked 7 shots. They shoot 48%, and as I mentioned, held the Nets to 35% shooting. And we are all square at 1 apiece as the series heads back to Chicago. Here's how it played out. Game 3. Hi, how's your plantar fasciitis? Well, mine's not great. How about you? Mine hurts. Joakim Noah and Joe Johnson both battling that ailment, both giving it a go. Nets out to the early lead. Coming off a horrific offensive game in game 2. Looked like they were going to completely turn it around.
But they did it off turnovers. They got in the open court, and they couldn't get their defense set, so they got a bunch of easy shots early on.
Yep, Bulls had a bunch of turnovers in that first quarter. Brook Lopez, the jump hook there. Nets hit 5 of their first 8 shots, and then couldn't hit the side of a barn. On the other end, Luol Deng knocks down the jumper. They cut that lead. C.J. Watson misses here again. Kirk Hinrich drives, and he'll finish 14-0 Bulls run to end the first quarter. Part of a stretch where the Nets hit 1 of 26.
Oh! That's one of them.
Now that's how you put somebody in the basket.
Taj Gibson, whose bucket to highlight ratio is really not great.
Great finish.
2 buckets, 2 replays of one of those. 28-6 Bulls run. Brook Lopez with the block there. Hinrich with the layup. He had 12 at the half. Chicago up by a dozen. Late, Gerald Wallace of all people.
Yeah, so even through the disaster, all of a sudden you're in at halftime and you're only down 7.
Just amazing after shooting under 23%. Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer with the story of the third for Chicago. Deng loses. Gerald Wallace knocks down the 3. He had 21 and 10.
Both those guys were big for the Bulls tonight.
And Boozer, so good in this game, 22 and 16. He's averaging 20 points and 12 boards for the series so far.
That's been the most consistent player in the series so far.
Boozer and Deng had 20 of their 24 in the third quarter. Bulls seem to be in control. Nate Robinson knocks down the 3. He had 7 off the bench. It's a 17-point lead, but the Nets start chipping away. Joe Johnson to Brook Lopez. Lopez battles for a board here. The dunk cuts it to 3. 12-2 Nets run. Lopez had 22 and 9 to go with 7 blocks. Getting late. Too close for comfort for Chicago. D. Will, the layup, cuts it to 2. He had 18. They're going to foul here. And Joakim Noah split a pair of free throws for his only point of the night. That's passing around. That's way too open a look.
That's a great look. I mean, the tighter game to get it to overtime. Can't ask for a better shot. Great execution by Brooklyn. Just couldn't get it in the basket.
Bulls take a 2-1 series lead, 79-76, as the Nets scramble to make it a game, but again shoot under 35%. 2 of their 3 worst shooting games of the entire season, going back to the regular season, are the last 2 of this series.
On Madison, the Brooklyn Nets find themselves in a desperation scenario as they face the Chicago Bulls, with the Bulls in front 2 games to 1. The Nets opening up the series, but they will take it. Lachu had just come on, and the crowd gets it out. Here's Wallace for 3, way off. And rebounded by Boozer.
Got to step in and take a 17-footer. No sense shooting the 3 when you're struggling like he is.
Final seconds. Oh, beautifully done by Nate Robinson. Darren Williams comes up short, and Robinson is on it. Nets have hit 7 of their last 10 shots. Dang all the way. And the foul. Bad pass. Watson not able to get to it. Robinson pulls it up for 3. Yes. 13 consecutive points for Chicago. Robinson got the step. 7 points for Nate Robinson. The net lead is now 6. Watson fell down, able to recover, but Gibson able to bang in and off the glass. Nate Robinson from long range. 6.5 remaining in the 4th. Robinson on the drive. Here's Robinson for 3. And as those of you who have watched Nate Robinson over the years know, he can heat up in a hurry. He is so explosive. He's cut it to 9. Here's Robinson. He's had the hot hand. That's 16 points for Robinson, 11 of the 16 here in the 4th quarter. Robinson chased by Watson. He went for the steal. Robinson gets it and hits a 3. 19 for Nate Robinson off the bench. 14 have come here in this fourth quarter. Watson got picked off. Here's Robinson. Oh, what a move by Nate Robinson. Bulls with the ball, down by just 9. Here's Robinson, who's on fire, does it again. He thought he was fouled, does not get the call. The lead is down to 7. Robinson gets it off, draws the foul, and revs up the crowd even more so. Robinson hits all 3. 10-01 by the Bulls. All 10 points scored by Robinson. The lead is down to 4. Williams got the step, but he's off. Noah rebounds. Here's Robinson. Yes! It's down to 2. The Nets call for time. The Nets clinging to a 2-point lead. Robinson outplayed by Williams. Makes the turn. Feeds Boozer. The game is tied. Shot clock turned off. Here comes Williams on a crossover. Goes at Heinrich. And the shot rims out. Out of bounds. Zeros on the clock. No time, says Tony Brothers. We go to overtime. Coming up on a minute remaining in overtime. Nets up by 2. Robinson finding space and hits. An incredible performance by Nate Robinson. He now has 30 and the game is tied. Final minute of this 5-minute overtime. Johnson with the runner. He ties it. Clutch shot one-on-one by Joe Johnson going against one of the best defenders in the NBA in Luol Deng. The ball in the hands of Robinson. We're down to 5 seconds. Robinson with a running one hand. He hits it with 1.7 remaining. Timeout, Brooklyn.
Everything else he's thrown up today has gone in. It's one of the most amazing performances I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Just one-on-one against Williams. Knocks it in. They might have to put a statue of this guy outside the building, right next to Michael.
We're getting crazy now. 1.7 remaining. In overtime, the Bulls now lead 121 to 119. Wallace inbound. Johnson with the run and the tie. He does at the buzzer. And we head to a second overtime. Nate Robinson has led the way with 32 points. Here's Robinson, banks it. Nate is 14 for 20 from the field.
And for Brooklyn, absolutely devastating, wasting a terrific effort. But they collapsed down the stretch. Nate Robinson brought the Bulls back, but the Nets made several mistakes in the last few minutes, any one of which could have averted this loss.
Well, the Nets led by as many as 14 with just under 3 minutes left in regulation. Final score, triple overtime, Bulls won.
It took 3 overtimes for the Chicago Bulls to win Game 4. Now 2 nights later, the Bulls try to close out the Nets, but keep in mind the Nets 5-0 in Game 5s at home. Nate Robinson, a big part, obviously, of that victory for the Chicago Bulls. First quarter action. Deron Williams driving on the smaller Robinson, gets the layup and one, made the free throw as well. He was 6 of 14 from the field. Later in the first quarter, Brook Lopez driving baseline past Nazr Mohammed and throwing that thing down with 2 hands. He had 11 points in the first 12 minutes of the game. Brooklyn up 20-17 later. Nate Robinson sparking the comeback like he did in Game 4. Elbow jumper goes down. He was 9 of 19 from the field, then just blowing past the defense here. Look at the little crossover all the way to the basket for the scoop, up and under, hoop and harm there. And later, just playing provider over to Taj Gibson, who throws that one down. Chicago suddenly back in front, 32-31. The Nets now on the run. Deron Williams finding Brook Lopez, and Brook Lopez softly off glass, 28 points, 10 rebounds, and there's Derrick Rose still watching basketball. Into the third quarter we go. Shot clock winding down. Nate finds Joakim Noah inside for the layup. He had 11 points On the game later, it's Nate again finding the right guy. It's Carlos Boozer knocking down the jump shot. He had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Brooklyn, though, up 61-53. Jimmy Butler driving for the tough layup, but you'll notice the score. Still Brooklyn in front by 5. Later third quarter, Luol Deng hits the contested jumper to cut the lead down to 4. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds. Brooklyn in front 77-73. Fourth quarter, more Bulls highlights, but the Bulls still down. Marco Bellinelli knocking down the jumper from deep, but just inside the three-point line. Brooklyn up 85-84. How about the Nets knocking down a shot there? Andre Blatch. That puts Brooklyn up by 7, 91-84. Later fourth quarter, Joe Johnson isolated on Deng, and that's what he can do. 11 points in the game. Brooklyn up 93-86, but the Bulls again fighting back. Carlos Boozer working, and then just finding Joakim Noah for the easy jam down low. He drew the double team and got it over to the big man. Brooklyn up 93-88. On the other end, Darren Williams, just a gorgeous pass to Brook Lopez for the jam and the foul. Brooklyn up 98-90 after the free throw. Now off the inbounds pass. Look at Gerald Wallace stroking a three. Beautiful shot from Wallace, who had a dozen points on the game. Brooklyn goes up by 10. Then Wallace playing the passing lanes. Rip and run, throwing it down with authority. The Nets shoot exactly 50% in the game as they take down the Bulls and cut their deficit in the series to 3-2. The Bulls lead.
In the triple overtime victory, Bellinelli on
the shot. So this is a different look for Gerald Wallace.
And won the playoffs 6 times in his days with New Orleans.
Fantastic series, but just took 8 shots in Game 5. There's Lopez. Really needs to search him out, make sure he gets 15, 20 shots.
And better, he's playing through plantar fasciitis. Williams takes Robinson down low. He is out with the flu. Nice pass again. On a pick.
So you're saying don't go into the Bulls locker room tonight?
Do not make contact at all. That's to beat the Bulls here in Chicago. There would be a Game 7.
So they're going to run a lot of offense, a lot of pick and roll on the perimeter like that
one. Lopez. The Stanks beat the Lakers in the first round back in 2006. Darren in quarter. Johnson trying to post up on Butler. Beautiful.
Really looks good here early.
Robinson for 3. Assist. Lopez.
And you see that touch.
Noah left wide open.
And a towel was still shivering, telling me he's felt extremely weak. Tell me just to keep the guys who are out on the court working. Marv?
Series, so it's a difficult prospect as Bellinelli.
And the former Bulls, C.J. Watson, is in. Andre Blatch, who played very well the last 2 games. Back on the hit season, has not been utilized in the postseason. He checks by Butler. Johnson with a nice move. And going at Bellinelli with the crossover. Pretty one-hop pass. And
boy out there because of his plantar fasciitis, but he's got
a moment ago. Committed by Marshawn Brooks and up here. Game 2, played well in Game 5, hitting 4 of 8 from the field. Watson knocks it down.
Working hard every day. The Bulls players, when they say that, they're not just protecting him.
For about 45 minutes.
Oh, did you?
Well, yeah, before the game. Gibson is over
in the second quarter to this point.
Watson, beautiful.
Struggles without Heinrich offensively. There's Robinson knocking down.
In the previous game, here's Humphreys. Fadeaway shot by Chris with a lower back injury. Did make a cameo early. Oh, Wallace with the move. And met by Williams. Backed it up. Got the step. Drew the foul. Wrap it up despite the fact that a lot of guys are missing here.
Quarter. This game feels similar to that one. There's Butler here defensively.
Here's a lead pass. Boozer able to beat. The winner of this series goes up against the defending champs, the Miami. So got deflected. Here's Williams ahead of the field. Williams puts it down. Shot clock down to 6. Williams for 3. Yes! And by virtue of that 4-point play, Nets able to extend, but team defending on Williams. Here's Lopez to the rim.
Play long-range shooter, and we've seen his passing skills already, too.
And on point man, Marco Bellinelli, the high point man for Chicago. Out with the flu. Johnson gets inside.
Enough ammunition in this game. They're going to hang around. You know that. Wallace gets to the hole.
And said that Deng just absolutely could not go. Tibbs didn't even.
3-on-2 developing. Wallace.
Plenty of playoff experience on that team. As Noah gets the tip in.
Nice exchange. Noah Robinson kicks it out. Bellinelli for three. Yes. A beautiful play. Watson with the steal. And we got a good quarter for the Nets. Excellent quarter for the Bulls.
And it can think of elimination, yet it's the Bulls who feel like they're the ones on the ropes.
There's a low number the last 6 minutes. They've committed 5. Robinson. Here's Williams off a crossover, and Lopez for three. Boozer, the tip out here at the United Center. Lopez wide open.
In an isolation situation.
Bellinelli, Blanche, better hurry off the spin, and score. Both clubs have a foul to give. Robinson gets it down low. Noah, and Muhammad. Foster with the toss and the Nets control.
They blew that big lead. Wallace was very productive.
Noah not able to hit, and the ball lands in the hands of
5 per game without Heinrich.
Aaron Williams. Knocked away, recovered by Evans. They swing it. Williams open for three. Yes.
I'm uncomfortable.
Robinson lost it. Oh, what a pass. And Wallace puts it down.
Going to have to be more of a force offensively. He looks good early.
Nice pass. Josie coughed it up. Bellinelli. They collapse on Boozer, who gets inside. That's so has been in 3 Game 7s. One of them as a teammate of Carlos Boozer at our Jazz. 2015, Chicago. Nice pass. It counts it. Bellinelli with the step. Noah with another offensive quarter.
Lays in the studio the other night. I mean, that's the Bulls' big advantage in this game. It's just their passion and their energy. Blatch.
That's sloppy with the ball. And then thrown away by Brooks. Here's cheating on a 3-on-1. It counts it.
And make threes. So offensively, it looked pretty good.
7-0 run. Nice pass. Blatch.
You really don't have the low post threat. Much easier for the Nets to guard this unit.
Nice move by Marshall.
In terms of the role players, I don't know. I felt it. I mean, as a role player and somebody who wasn't, kicked
for the first time. And they played well. Here's Teague. And he hits again.
6 games, but he's been very effective here.
Off the spin, Darren Williams right. Butler into the corner to Cook. Trying to set him up for 3 instead of beauty
to recover and challenge that shot.
Cook for 3. Robinson with the step around first half. Noah. Oh, come on. 8 of 11, 16 points for Noah. Wallace with the stuff.
Looking for the 2-for-1, but too late now.
Lopez from Black. Nice inbounds and Boozer.
A basket and a stop and some energy here.
Williams off the pick. That's it for the half. 2.5 gone by in the third. Bellinelli on a catch and shoot. Backs his way. Now Boozer over to help. Wallace for 3. Yes!
Our key guys offensively. And now with the foul trouble.
Pretty pass. Wallace makes the turn. Sets it up. Lopez. Bellinelli. Open shot from Butler for 3s. Wallace for 3. Evans keeps it alive. Finds Wallace and he stops.
Great play from Wallace, cutting to the rim, giving his teammate that opening.
Pretty pass. Lopez out deep, backs. Noah. Robinson over to help. Nice move. Oh, the reverse. Now has 10 rebounds. Noah with the step and stuffs
the ball. I don't think he has confidence in his jump shot right now.
Boozer, nice play.
Most of his shots in the last few minutes.
Robinson on a pull-up and knocked. He's had a subpar shooting performance. Throws cross court, nice pass. Williams, got 5. Bellinelli backs it up, got the step, and scored!